Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Bonnie.
How are you this morning?
Do you know there was a fella that used to come in the senior center. His name was Bob, and he would tell me, he says, "I'm groovy," and I think I'm groovy today.
Well, you look pretty groovy today, so
Thank
we'll
you.
go with it. Well, I've shared the recipes for everyone on Facebook of what you're cooking today, but you could just give us a little reminder of what you're doing.
Okay. Today we're going to, well, of course, we start with dessert. We're going to do a Jell-O dessert, and we're going to do a salmon and zucchini baked in parchment paper, and we're going to do a chicken foil meal for my husband.
Okay,
we're trying to keep today under 500 calories.
Okay, so each meal,
yes,
under 500 calories.
Yeah, and that includes the Jell-O with it. So
okay, good. All right, so we're making dessert first. So what is it called?
Yep. And I got looking around in my cookbooks and I found this old Jell-O book. That's why I'm feeling groovy.
The New Joy Jell-O. Okay.
Yeah, and it was dated 1974. So they made this in 1974. So there was some fun facts in the Jell-O book that I sort of picked up on. So maybe we'll go across some of those. But that's a fun book.
Well, I don't think Jell-O hasn't changed much since 1974.
It hasn't. It hasn't. Matter of fact, I think it's fallen out of favor with a lot of people, and it's sad because Jell-O is fun. It is fun. First of all, I'm drinking my water. Yeah. Huh?
My grandson and I still make Jell-O jigglers. That's still a thing.
That's fun. Well, I'm still drinking my water. So
good.
It's been in the 90s, so we all need to drink our water. So make sure you drink your water today.
Stay hydrated.
Yep. Okay, so Jell-O. Yay! This one's called Magic Mousse Jell-O.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a small box of Jell-O, and we're going to stick with lemon. Last week we did a lemon, little lemon dessert, and so I'm going to make lemon Jell-O today. And of course, all you do is add your dry Jell-O. It's so easy. And then I have 1.5 cups of boiling water. So I'll add that to it. And then you just stir. You want to dissolve all that Jell-O. So about 2 minutes. We'll see how long it takes to dissolve that Jell-O.
So what's the magic part?
Huh?
What's the magic part?
We'll get there.
Okay.
You're impatient, Bonnie. So anyway, a few fun facts I read about Jell-O. If you're going to add fruit, which we're going to today, but we're going to do it so it sinks to the bottom, you want your Jell-O to sort of set up. So you'd want to put it in the refrigerator for a little while if you're going to add fruit and want it to stay in the Jell-O up top, and get it just about like cottage cheese, just set.
Okay.
And you'd add your fruit and stir it in. That way it stays throughout the Jell-O. Now today, we're not going to do that. I'm going to add the fruit. It's going to drop to the bottom, so you get that little surprise in the bottom. But that's not the magic.
That's not the magic.
Oh. Okay. Let me see if it's all dissolved. Yep, it looks pretty good. So what we're going to add to this is the magic, Bonnie. Don't miss it. I'm going to add an 8-ounce container of whipped topping.
Oh, gotcha.
That's part of the magic. So we're going to add that into the hot liquid, into the hot Jell-O, because you want it to melt. So let's stir that all up. And like I say, you just want that whipped topping to melt. And what happens is it sort of makes it creamy, of course, because you've got all that whipped topping in there. Take me a few minutes to get it to melt. I've already made some for today because this will take overnight to set up.
Okay.
And I'll show you what happens. Let me let that keep melting. Let me show you real quick what happens. Let me get one out of the refrigerator. This is the one I did last night. And as you can see, the whipped topping floats to the top, your Jell-O's in the bottom. Isn't that beautiful?
That's really cute.
Yeah, and it's really good because who doesn't like whipped topping, right?
Seriously.
So when you get this done, a box of Jell-O, and now this is not a sugar-free Jell-O, which you could do a sugar-free, and you do save a few calories on sugar-free. But there's 80 calories in a serving of Jell-O. So this box actually makes 4 servings. So that's what we're going to do today is make 4 servings.
Okay.
But it's under 100 calories, and then when you add your whipped topping, it brings it up just about to 100 calories. I think there was, I forget.
So is the whipped topping in place of adding anything like cool water to the Jell-O?
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to follow the directions. 1.5 cups of boiling water.
Right.
Stir it till it dissolves, and then you want to add your Cool Whip. And like you said, Bonnie, it takes place of the cold water you would put in it.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Now, if you forgot about your whipped topping until the last minute and it was in the freezer, that's okay. Just plop it in there. That's
Still
fine.
works.
Still works. Okay, let's get this poured up. I have my little fun glass.
Look at you being fun. Those are cute.
And what I'm going to do, like I said, if you planned on fruit being throughout the Jell-O, you want to thicken it a little, but I'm not going to do that today. Last week we had blueberries, lemon. That's what I'm going to do again. So I'm going to plop some blueberries in the bottom of my glasses.
Oh.
And so when you get to the bottom, you'll have some of those blueberries.
Well, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. So let's pour this into our glasses. Look at that. Oh, that smells good too. That lemon really comes through. Well,
So that's all going to separate like the other ones did.
Yeah, that blueberry's floating. So they may float in there since I've got that Cool Whip or that whipped topping.
Could be.
Look at that. Aren't those lovely? Now, when those set, they'll separate just like the orange ones did. Yep.
Okay. So we're not sure yet whether the blueberries are floating or going to stay on the bottom.
They're floating right now. But isn't that pretty? Now,
I love the combination.
Yeah, and it ought to be a fresh flavor too when it gets done. So when these set, I'll probably put a few fresh blueberries on top too.
Yeah, little daub of whipped cream and then a couple little blueberries.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And if
you can put a little lemon, lemon on there and curl it up real pretty and it'll look nice.
Yep. And these each are under 100 calories. So you really get enjoyment and you get satisfaction because I know I look for something sweet and this is sweet but still good for you.
And it's cool and light, so it's nice for the hot weather.
It is. It is. Okay.
Those are really nice. I love those.
I will pop these in the refrigerator.
Okay.
In just a moment.
They should be ready for me about dinner time.
They should. They should. Another idea with the orange ones I made in the refrigerator, I added little mandarin oranges. Now you can buy a bag of those little mandarin oranges and peel them, and those are really good. But for some people, by the time you get to the bottom of the bag, they're no good anymore because there's so many of them. But yesterday I found in their own juice the little mandarin oranges in the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these were like 35 calories. So they're a sweet treat. You could put a little bit of whipped cream on top or something and make them really special.
Oh, yeah.
Now these did go on top of my other Jell-O. So just a thought for another.
Okay. Good
okay.
thought. Okay. Dessert's good.
So, my husband has specific things he likes to eat. And that's okay. We all do. I'm going to fix salmon today, but he's not fond of salmon. So I'm going to fix him a foil pack with chicken in it. So let me get to that.
Okay.
All you need to do this, I have a baking sheet and my foil. And you want to pull out about a 15, 16-inch piece of foil. So to this, I'm going to add my vegetables. I put a little drop of olive oil in the bottom of my foil, and I'm just going to center it. So just a little bit of oil. Let's see, what have I got for him? I have carrots, and I have potatoes. Let me get my potatoes. Okay, so I have sliced some potatoes, and I'm going to put these on the bottom. Now, when you put in vegetables, you want to make sure they're all sliced about the same width.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you put a great big chunk of potato and a piece of chicken and maybe a little piece of carrot, they're not going to cook evenly. So I'm going to pile up some potatoes. For color, I'm going to add a few carrots, and all I did was just cut them up.
So is this going to be just a meal for him, just for one
Yep.
person? Okay.
Yep. And I think I'll surprise him a little and put a couple zucchinis in there. You know, I got to keep him on the edge, right? So I've sliced my zucchini about the same width. Now these will cook a little faster. So I'll put them on top of the potatoes. And then on top of that, oh, it's here somewhere. In a second, I gotta find it. There it is. I'm going to put his chicken. Now the chicken breast, let me pull this out of the way for a minute. The chicken breast that I got was really thick. So what I'm going to do is cut that chicken breast and sort of thin it up a little so it'll cook a little quicker.
Yeah, I usually do that with mine. Just
Yeah.
to make them cook more even.
Yeah. So what I usually do when I'm working with chicken or any other kind of meat, I have a separate mat that I use so that I don't cross-contaminate to my vegetables. So that's what I've done here. I have a little mat that I got my chicken on, and it's going to be separate from where I cut my vegetables. And so we're just going to cut him in half and make him a little thinner. This, see how much thinner he is?
Like a butterfly chop.
Yeah. So what this is going to do is help him cook a little quicker. Okay, back to our tray here. So I'm going to lay him down in the middle on top of my vegetables. I'm going to go wash my hands off just a second. I just don't want any cross-contamination. Okay, so I've got, I don't know if you can see this, I've got my vegetables and my chicken on top. I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil so he'll cook. Now you could put a little pat of butter if you want. I just like olive oil. And he doesn't like a lot of spice, so I'm just going to put a little pepper, and I'm going to put a little salt. And then I do have to surprise him. So out of my garden, I have some fresh herbs today, and I'm going to put a little piece of parsley right on top.
Okay.
So that'll surprise him. Look at this.
He's easily surprised.
He is. Isn't that pretty?
That's very pretty.
Okay. To this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold my aluminum foil up. Now, I don't know if this makes any difference or not, but I always heard when you're baking things, you want to put your shiny side to the inside. I don't know, true or false. I heard that if you put it to the outside, it sort of reflects the heat. I don't know. Is it
Okay,
true?
so shiny side in.
That's just what I do. So I'm
Okay.
going to fold it in half, just like this. And I'm going to fold it down, just make a couple creases so it's sealed. Because what cooks this is the steam inside. So here I've got it like this, it's sealed on top. And then these ends, I'm just going to fold up and seal. Now you don't want it real tight because you want that steam to work. But as you can see, I just got a little pouch.
Well, that's
Okay.
a quick little dinner.
It is, and you can make these up ahead, put them in the refrigerator, get home from work or wherever you're at, you can pop them in the oven or a toaster oven and let them bake, and then you've got a meal. Now I baked one earlier, and I had it in here for 25 minutes, and I put it in for another 5 minutes, so we'll see what it turns out like. So about 25 to 30 minutes in the oven.
Are you cooking on what, like 350 or something?
350.
350 for 30 minutes.
Yes. So let me tell you a little story.
Okay.
When I was younger, I used to go to 4-H camp. Loved 4-H camp. I learned so many things from 4-H camp. I think maybe it sort of made me the person I am. So anyway, we would make these and we would call them hobo packages.
Hobo packages?
I don't know why they called them hobo foil packages. So we did it with hamburgers. So you could do it with hamburgers, chicken, whatever you want. And then we put them in the, we'd have a fire built and we'd put them in the ashes and let them cook.
Oh,
And then we'd
that's
pull them
fun.
out and have a meal.
Well, that's fun.
So, good memory of 4-H camp was these little packages like this.
And it's still coming forward to this day.
Yep. Just remember your 4-H camps here in Washington County and also in Wood County. They are not able to make any money because of the COVID. There's no camp rentals or anything like that. So if you want to make a donation, I know they're accepting donations right now to help them keep the camp running as far as much as you can. There's upkeep.
4-H is always a good cause, so.
It is a good cause, and I think it creates good children. You know,
Yes.
Here I am.
Yeah, and look how good you turned out.
Yep. And don't forget the older children with O'Neill Center too.
Oh yes, our older children.
Yes. Okay. You guys see whatever I like to eat. And this week I was hungry for salmon. So that's why we're doing salmon. So
I want to see the salmon. I have never cooked salmon myself, so I want to see it.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to cook this in parchment paper. Now you can cook this in foil too. I wanted to show you that you can do it in parchment paper because that's usually how I do my salmon.
What's the difference, or why is there a difference?
I think parchment paper allows it to steam a little different than the foil. The foil gets a little soggy steam.
Okay.
A little hotter steam maybe is the word. So today we're using parchment paper. So the same thing, pull out about 15, 16 inches. That might be a little big, but that's
okay.
And we'll lay that down. With this, I'm going to crease it in half. I'm going to crease my parchment paper in half. So what that does is about the same thing as the foil.
Yeah, it makes a little pocket.
Yep, going to make a pocket. Okay, let me get my salmon. I had an interesting thing happen when I went and purchased my salmon. The store I purchased it from, and I'll mention it, it was Kroger's. They had it on sale, first of all, which yay. But the girl asked me if I wanted to put it in this little pouch. And I said, well, what's that do? And she said, you can just microwave this and it cooks up.
And you're done.
Yeah, it's all done for you. Now, I didn't do that today. And they'll add things in. She added butter, fresh dill, which I can't find in my garden, and lemon. So she added all that stuff to it, and I just pop it in the microwave and it would cook.
Wow.
I'm going to do something a little different with it. So
okay, well that's a good idea though.
Yeah, very good idea. Okay, same thing we did with the chicken. I'm going to layer this. So I'm not going to put potatoes in this one. I'm just going to put zucchini. And I got some yellow squash a friend gave me. So whatever you got. So I'm going to pile up my zucchini. And of course, this time of year is zucchini season. And then on top of that, I'm going to add some onions because this is for me. So I've got some real thin sliced onions I'm going to put on top. And then on top of that, I'm just going to add some salt and pepper, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I'm going to add a little more olive oil because I want those vegetables to cook down there too. Just a little drizzle. Okay, on the top of that, I'm going to put a piece of salmon. And the salmon piece I got, it was about 1.25 pounds. It was about this big. So I sliced it.
Okay.
And it said to make it skinned. And this actually had the skin on it. If you buy it at the store, I should have asked her if she could fillet the skin off for me, and I didn't. But I just took a sharp knife and I started in the center and cut the skin off. So this piece here, I've got no skin on.
Okay,
So
that's
here-
good to know. That's good to know. I would not have known that.
Yeah. Now you could leave the skin on. It just, what would happen is your vegetables will be underneath that skin and it might get a little weird. So here's my fillet. So I'm going to lay that right on.
Looks like a nice piece of salmon.
It is. And then on top of that, I'm going to put some butter. So I'll cut that butter. And this came from the package, so I didn't have to buy butter. She also put a lemon wedge in there for me. So I'm going to put that lemon wedge right in the middle. And then she gave me some fresh dill. So I'm going to take a piece of that fresh dill and put it down. I think I'll put it next to my salmon because I want that flavor to come through. And there you have it. Let me fold it up. So to fold it, you just have your salmon on one side and you want to make a pocket. So you start at the long edge. This is the way I do it. Start the long edge.
Right.
And just fold, put a little fold, make a crease so it's sealed. Make a fold, make a crease. So I do it about 2 times. And then I'm going to come in from the end. So I'm gonna come to the corner and fold.
Okay. Okay.
Fold, make a crease. Fold, make a crease. Same thing on the other end. Fold, make a crease. Foil probably stays together a little better. So I have my pocket. So I'm going to put this on my pan. I'm going to pop both these in the oven at 350. The salmon took about 20-25 minutes. And like I said, the chicken I cooked a little longer. So we'll see how that turns out. I had it in there 25 to 30 minutes.
So you're cooking them both on 350, sticking them in the oven?
Yep.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
Yay.
Yep. Okay. Let me put those in the oven. Okay. Let me show you what I've got.
I'm looking forward to seeing the salmon.
Okay. So these I cooked earlier.
The magic?
The magic. So I'm going to unfold my salmon.
You need to start sliding one pan in the oven and then pulling the other one out so it's totally magic.
I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, now that looks good.
I'm going to slide that on my plate. And of course, my plate sort of matches my shirt today.
Oh, that's pretty. I like purple.
And if you wonder what my apron says, it says looking for food in all the wrong places. I take that as
I'm feeling you.
A fast food joint is probably all the wrong places. I want you to look at this.
That looks amazing.
Isn't that beautiful?
That looks amazing. Yes.
Perfect. I'm excited. Not that I'm always excited.
I guess I didn't realize salmon was that easy to just throw in the oven.
Yep. I'm gonna get my fork and I'll flake that apart. Look at that. Look at that bite of salmon. Yep.
That is so cheating.
That is so good.
Is it done perfect at 30 minutes?
Yep. Let me look. Yep. Absolutely perfect.
Wow.
And I did this one in about 20-25 minutes. Salmon doesn't take as long to cook.
Okay. So
and
25
the
maybe.
Steams, yeah. And you want it to turn this color, sort of a light salmon color, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay,
Not pink anymore.
Not pink anymore. Okay, let me see what husband's pack looks like. Oh, this looks good too. Let me get a plate for that. We'll give him a red plate. Let me get those scooted out. Now this has potatoes and carrots and such in it. So let me make sure. It looks like potatoes are done perfectly.
Oh, now that looks good too.
Look at that meal. You see that? that
That
beautiful?
looks good too. That looks yummy.
Let me see if the potatoes are done. Oh, perfect. Mhm.
You're eating Dave's dinner.
I am. He won't know. Let me cut into the chicken, see what it's like.
Make sure the chicken's good.
Yeah, let me get a knife, different knife. Oh my goodness, is that good? Oh, he may not get this piece.
Does it smell good?
Yes. And look here, the chicken is cooked just perfect. Absolutely.
Just perfect.
Yep. Perfect meal. Perfect meal.
Well, that was so easy.
That is easy.
That was so
It is
easy.
so delicious.
And it looks light and fresh. A great summer dinner or lunch.
And then here we have our dessert.
Aw.
These
Now,
are
which
our-
kind are those? What kind are those?
These
Orange?
are orange. And then I put the little mandarin on top.
And a little, aw.
I guess I better just put 2 of them out or we'll eat all 4 of them. That won't be good.
You're such a cute little decorator cook.
Yeah, isn't it fun?
That looks so nice. You do such a
Okay.
good job.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
You're
Are we,
welcome. That
are we
just keeps good.
Are you thinking about next week?
I am.
Yes.
Next week, every year, it seems like at Cooking Club, I make that poor group eat a tomato tart. When the tomatoes come ripe, I love this tomato tart that we do.
Okay.
And everyone else seems to like it too. So next
Okay.
week, we're going to do a tomato tart.
Okay. I've never had it. I didn't have the pleasure last year, so we'll see.
Okay. And then
Okay.
I have a few fresh herbs in my garden. So I'm actually going to show you how to use some of those fresh herbs.
Okay. And we
I
had
did-
talked about maybe doing a field trip at some point where you maybe eat out, maybe
Yeah, I
a
think
banana
we'll wait till,
split.
yeah, I think we'll wait till it gets a little cooler.
Okay.
And then I think I'll wait till after after I go to my doctor's visit because I want to weigh in as thin as I can.
Okay. Gotcha. So eat our 500-calorie meals and we'll be good. Okay. Well, it looks wonderful. Thank you for doing this again this week.
You're very welcome. Bonnie,
We
do you have
were-
anything going on at O'Neill?
We are trying to plan a few maybe outdoor activities,
Very good.
but we're starting today a chronic pain self-management class. So that's happening today. So
Okay.
we're always trying to find new things we can do and keep our seniors hip, healthy, independent, and productive.
Yep, healthy.
Healthy 500-calorie meals.
Yep, it
Oh.
is.
Okay, well, enjoy those lunches.
I will. Thank you, and bye-bye,
Bye.
everybody. Have a
Bye.
good week.
You
Bye.
too.